Good morning. All right, today we're going to play some more of The Last Caretaker. Let me figure out which game we want to load to. Let's see. That was last week. These are about all the same time. You have up to 8 slots, and then the auto backup slot is usually quite far behind, actually. So what I'm going to do is go into the 8 slot and actually going to put this into slot 8. I think what I'm going to do here, see, let's figure out where we are, what time it is. I'm going to do some of the cleanup on the oil refinery. Break everything down, get all of the elements together. You can see there's even a few spaces that I didn't bother doing the basic reading on. There is one more stash of folks that I think that is the sun going down. Is that the sun going down or the sun going up? I do wish my little robot had some sort of a wristwatch or something. That's the sun coming up. Okay, perfect. So, we're just going to do some dump and runs here. There is another stash of folks that I ought to be taking care of out there, but I haven't decided about them yet. They're kind of up and around a corner, which means that they could very easily swarm me. And I kind of don't feel like dealing with that. We're getting to the end of the basic content for this. This is an early access title. The next update is, in theory, going to happen in December. Or towards the end of December. They said holidays, I believe, was the precise note on the roadmap. I'm still carrying around a lot of bullets, which is why I keep filling up so quickly, but that's okay. So what we're ultimately going to need to do is to make some cabling to get the oil container, the oil pump. I need to not do 2 things at once, which makes it kind of hard to do both. What we need to do is we need to get the oil pump connected to the oil canister and at least begin pumping out. Although we're going to need... All right, your petrol tank. I want fuel cables. I can build 5. Let's take 5 of you and 5 of you. Let's put you there. Free up just a little bit of space. So I did repair all of the items. And what I need to do now is connect them. And then I need to connect the oil pump to the tanks. And then connect the oil pumps to the electricity. Let's just take the easiest route down. That's the item down there. Let's go back and plug you in there. Yeah. Well, if there's no reason that this is going down here. Alright, let's just see. Alright. Where do you want to be plugged in? Where do you want to be plugged in? I just bounced around. Uh-huh. Connect. There we go. Alright, and now you need some electricity. And I don't have any more cable. That's okay. And get just a little bit of poop. I could try putting something out here. This is kind of... there's so much fun up there. I think the idea was you were supposed to try and parkour your way around up there, but let's face it, I don't parkour. So, all right, there is an electrical cable there. There are other ways of getting things up. Okay. Well, we really need those better solar and or some wind. So we have one solar and one wind on that side. We tried putting the solar and wind up on the other side too. What else do we have? There's no way up to the roof from here. No cord. Where did my cords go? I put all my cords away? That's weird. Okay. Yeah. We might have enough to get down there. Do we have enough to build any more? Let's see. We can build a battery. But should we want to build a battery downstairs? Let's say add missing parts to queue. Let's connect me to the battery. So what I'm doing here is you're kind of building things without the fabricator, and that will suck up your internal battery when you do too much at once. So we're gonna keep ourselves connected while we do this. Put a battery downstairs, watch it charge for a minute during the day. Hopefully we have enough time left. And then see about some more solar and another wind. I think I'm going to put it on the other side of the building. And that will hopefully give us a little bit of redundancy at different times of the day. In the meantime, right, you're going over to the back. Let's disconnect you. If we can go under here. Okay, with that, it'll be a little bit out of play. Ultimately, we want to take it over. Okay. Okay, and right there. There. Over here. Oop. And here. Missing objects. All right. Stay. I must have used everything in our inventory. No plastics. More iron. Right. That was for the battery. That was for the battery. We had to go downstairs. Okay. There we go. Grab you. Point you at the right direction. And take you over here. And I suspect I may be about to run out of cable again. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Now, if we turn this on, and start pumping up, albeit, I believe, slowly. Oh, I see. I'm hoping it is to put the battery in there. Okay. Over there. Let's see, there are others over here, but there's no way down from there without coming down here, which is kind of dicey. Turn it off briefly. And next to you. Okay. Now, what I need is more electricity generation. We will build that solar and wind and pump it in. Nothing left that's actively trying to slaughter me here, which is good. Okay. Probably pulling off of this, which seems to be okay. So, let's put you away. Oh, that's how I felt it. All right. And let's take you and take you. connect to south. I'm going to add missing parts to queue. Stand here for the moment. There's nothing else that we need to break down in this room. Well, there is that, but it can't do both at once. You can't build things and break things down at once. I put those two items very close to this stairwell because I knew. Crap. I'm missing pieces. Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna have to. It's probably plastic. I put these very close to this stairwell there because I was sneaking up here for the most part. And, Lord, Josie. Goodbye, friend. I was sneaking up here, which meant that I didn't want to try and activate any of the other critters. Let's go in here. Mostly empty. I could probably move the recycler in here. I don't think that there is a... I don't think there's an outlet in here. So that means leaving the door open. Naturally, I'm trying to build a solar panel. And it's winding, raining, and the sun is going down. But of course. Is there electrical here? No, there is not. Really just an empty room. Here we go. Now, connect to self. I think if I come on here, probably pause. Alright, let's clear the queue. And come back here and say add missing parts queue. We're still missing logic chip and magnetic coil. The magnetic coil wants silicone and carbon fiber. Alright, I'm going to need even more silicone. Alright. No, not silicone, no glass. Are you done? You're done. Okay. There's nothing else in here to break down. I think. Oh. Alright. What I want is another robot or some more techie bits. Glass. My way around there. Or I could go downstairs and get it off the bench. Murder Hornet has glass. Ooh, I can't get into. Go ahead and get you anyways, just for now. Alright, I think I may end up going back down to the boat. There was an upstairs to that building, and I did clear out the upstairs. What's up there? See, that has skitter bugs inside, and you're meant to go up and around. Alright, you have scraps. I did not loot effectively here. Apparently, there might be something. Is that a broken screen? That is a broken screen. That is what that. Okay. Be sure. And there's food in here. We make them humans. Okay. Now I'm slow walking. Something clogged. I want to get upstairs though. Alright. Alright, that will give us another solar panel. Tomorrow. In the meantime, those are filling slowly. And I do still have one hole. One I can clear out as well. Yeah, there's really actually move here. And what people are. Right? Let me just go make some cable. Are you finished? You got some. Oop. Okay. So once the oil is got set up, I think what I want is oil tanks on the boat. Take the oil to not to Lazarus. Take the oil to Exodus, and then refine it further there, because you can make diesel and petrol out of it, and the petrol gives me what I need to make the methane. And that is the general resource loop at this stage of the game. Let's go back and monkey down there. Oh. There. Net. Restart. And these fill pretty slowly. We're at 600 out of 2,000. There's 2,000 in each. Yeah, I'll get way more solar out of that side than out of this side. Might even be worth moving it over there, because it does not. Well, I'll get some eastern. All right. Question is there anything else I want to do? I need to. All right, let's take these down to the ship. If they're not going to be necessary up here, I don't think I'm going to need a gas cable or water cable. And I have the electric pistol, which I think if I do go pick a fight with the skitterbugs, I can go ahead and use the pistol on then. Just in case. Alright, looks like all of those are cleared out. Alright. Back up. That basic solar here, I really should upgrade that. I did upgrade all of the engines. Do you have anything that... Seriously? Put that on. We don't have anything that goes in there. Okay. And you're full. All right. I'll just take the low quality fruit and eat some of those elements. Take the food bath. This is all pretty poor. Use that. I think. You must have been the box I took upstairs. With a little of everything in you. That's okay. Leave that there. And then finally, the boom box. And then just have my bio box up here. And I can come back to it later. Alright, so I don't have anything else I want to build up there necessarily. I think what I need to do is break down some more stuff. Decide about Skitter Central. Nope. It should be on your way to charging things. I'm going to need a way of getting the oil out of the containers and down to the boat. I think that's where some of these elements in the walls are going to come in handy. You cannot be over here. Right. The game is remarkably good about giving you potential materials. Nope, put that down. It's just a matter of... Sorry, I should be talking over the line, but I'm not. It's a matter of time. There were a lot of places I didn't bother to loot because they were going to take them. But this place is so far out in the middle of nowhere. It may well be worth it. We're coming up on a space. Oh, didn't expect that. Coming up on a space where I'm thinking about a second run. Maybe heating up some more of the platforms that I skipped on this run through. And then, of course, the end game loop is to go up and down all of the seed vaults and send more humans into space. So I may have this kind of running passively in the background to see what the best option for that is. This is definitely a temptation with games like these, right? To sort of start over repeatedly and never actually play the end game. At least it is for me. Right. I just want to clear out the recyclers. That's where your XP is. Unless you used up all of that rubber, I'm going to need more of it for the cable. Oh, I did that thing again I do where I put all of the cable into the box stems. I need gas cable to connect to it. The that ladder is probably the best because you can secure it to the pylon. You need to go down and check. I may need to build another couple of oil tanks in that room. Yeah. So blast a view and then go downstairs. Alright, we're building some cable. I don't want to get too far away from my box. Let's go investigate where the quotes were in the walls downstairs. Also, what does it take to really implant it? That is an advanced object. That's better off done downstairs at the fabricator. All right. So let's see about... Let's see about taking some materials downstairs to the fabricator. What do we got in here? We held on to those. Okay. Let's take you. Let's take you. Take some stuff through. And let's take you and then overlay. That's okay. All right. You have outlets, but nowhere to go. This is the door that I'm always coming in. It does not have an outlet. It has a jump. That is the ladder. There's no way of getting it down the elevator. It's kind of gotta go down the ladder because there's nothing up here. I don't think you can just take something down the elevator. I think it's going to object to being used that way. I guess you could put oil tanks on the elevator and then just run them up and down. It seems like there should be another way of doing that. There's no ladder here. There's no leeway for that there. Yeah, it becomes a matter of dangling something down that. I suspect it's something that comes further along in the lineup is going to be where some of this happens. I've not been looting as expected. I probably underbaked on a number of items. I've seen some folks who just have gallons and gallons of everything. There must be any development. Alright. Okay, people. First things first. Let's do adult parts to two. Let's move you. Let's move you. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see about fitting something into that corner, a bigger box. Let's see, how much space do we have? The boat would kindly like to stay still for a minute. I'd appreciate it. This is a bit ridiculous. Okay. All right. Button. You can do that. You can be empty. You can actually be in the food box and lay around it. I do not in my art around box. And one more you. And let's see if we can put you here. Right. Guess we have to rearrange some stuff. I'm beginning to get to understand what people are complaining about with the snap to grid. I've kind of been ignoring it, but with the round and round and roundabout approach, I just kind of very much pain in the butt. Actually, wearing plastic, yep. No. Proper. Audience anyway. Weird. What are you? More fabric. The number on the container is not, in fact, the weight. It is the number of items which are inside the container, I think. And the only indicator of the weight is this element here, how full it is. So polyurethane being excruciatingly heavy is why I can really kind of only manage to push it around. Fair enough there for a minute. Okay, I suspect the sun has gone down, so and faff about with this while it's dark. stop that. Food. All right. You can just be over here. You are brains. This is bioflesh that came out of all of the special, like the sharks and the angels. They give you bioflesh. And that is super useful. All right, so what I'm going to need is an oil. Everybody says I can, in fact, make one. This is what I'm going to need eventually. I might as well put that up at Exodus where it's closest to the useful end result. All right, so do an oil tank. On forward panel. Let's see. Let's do one more mega box. Moving here. Take you upstairs. And that's where the actual stairs are. About okay, and put you. I guess I could put it in here with the diesel. Which is still full. All right. Yeah, apart from just sort of straight up dangling something off the ads of the elevator, I need a mooring cable over there. There's no way down except for just jumping. That would keep me off of that silly ladder. All right, let's take a look at what do you still have left in you. All right, then. I have gas handles, but I don't have any plastic and I don't have any. Before we do this, let's go ahead and save. Right. Right. I'm just gonna decide which direction it faces in a minute. Okay, you're going to be flowers. Right. You own anything of this. Yes, they're just filling up really quickly. And that's filling up too. I've got a bunch of this stuff. Some that I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to be doing with. Alright. It's my specialty. Aluminum, that's silicone. That's rubber. Mostly rubber should be on the floor because rubber is super useful. That polyurethane is not quite so much. But we try. Okay. I'm going to take 5 of you. And 5 of you. And let's go see about getting some oil down the elevator shaft. I think we need to be, okay, you cannot be jumped. That's a space that can't be jumped. Something's gonna happen with me. Alright, that's true. That's central. Lots of plastic. Up here, and you're still floating. You've got it. Let's think about this. And the two of you are falling. Here's the boat. The boat is behind, in front of you. You're just on the wrong side of the platform. Let's stand there. There were 2 ladders. There was another ladder. No. There's you. You could do from over here. This is the back of the elevator. I wonder if one of the hornets is tangled on a railing somewhere and that's what the noise is. Alright, there's no jumping down here without getting tangled. That is a walkway. And I think the game wants you to parkour along here, which is not going to be my first choice. Yeah, there's a lot of interference here with a clean jump. Yeah, there's something stuck up here. I'm gonna make sure nothing's growing over there. There's stuff. I heard something chirping. Sometimes the little beasties get stuck on the infrastructure. Now, I want that wire connected to something and attached to something. So I don't want to just dangle it off the side of something. If possible, I want it attached to this. But it's the if possible part that I suspect might not. I mean, ultimately, I do just need to get it down here. What I'm looking for is a way of getting the oil from the tanks up top down to the boat where it can be actually used. And there's some spaces down here that I think they're supposed to poke around. That is too far to jump, but there are outlets over there, so you don't have to drag anything down off the platform. Oh. I didn't even see those. Ah! What are you? Why are you? Wait. Beast is up there. Alright, what do you want? You actually have some stuff in you, but not a lot. Where would you come out of? You're sort of over here on your lonesome. Everything wants to come out. What is this? Oh, this is the back of the ladder I came down. Everything kind of wants to come down this ladder. Or out by that other one. I mean, I guess I could come out here. You were really careful. Or out there. That suggests having a distillery over here and then just having petrol tanks on the boat. But it seems to me oil tanks are easier. There's really no intakes up here. All of the intakes are downstairs. And there is one here. This is the cable management kind of things. Okay, that's that down there. Sucking electricity even though it's not sucking anything else. All right. That should fill. This goes out to that space that doesn't want to bridge. It wants me to parkour along that pipe. I just know it. Shark over there. That's me to do masking. You suck. Not really math, but geometry. Or what's going to be easiest? I think there was another large gap out here. There are no outlets here. And once you... I think I've seen people... The rafters in places are kind of like this width, which suggests that you can get around on them. And there is fall damage, but not as much into the water. What on earth? There's a bunch of stuff down there. Oh, I think that's the sun going down now. There's storm moving in. I think that's the bottomless Gitter Central. But I may be wrong about that. Alright. Could just put cables in and out of every single available outlet and see what that gets us. Power almost has to come from here because it's got to be up top. All right, let's do this. Let's take you and just run you down here to the outlet. I am not being super careful about where things are placed. We would go over here. And I could probably get it down there. I kind of don't want to use that option at the moment. I would come back here and put a distiller in here. That does not get me anything because there's nothing on the other side. These are own pass-throughs. They don't talk to each other. If there's nothing on that side of the oil rig that I want to talk to, then there's really no point. And could, however, take that. Okay. Well, I could extend it out if I wanted to, or I could extend it up there and just nudge the ship forward and fill the tank from there. I would mean taking it down that ladder. It's an option. The other option is to come off of here and that ladder, and then, well, there's the around the corner for that. I wonder if there's anything in Skitter Central that I actually know. Just dismantle a few things while I think about this. It is nighttime too. No. It's down here. Game. Not full. What do I need? Repair glue. I need fabric. What is talking about box upstairs? Repaired. Iron fabric. Iron fabric. Fabric. What did you find out here? It's the ship over there. I have to take things all the way over here, around the corner, down the stairs, under the railings, and back here, or we're parkouring around the elevator. Which from this level might be doable. Alright, let's go get some fabric. Stay on the lap of the student. Irons. Well, empty enough. I don't want iron. I wish there was an element on the skill tree explicitly marked to help with jumping. Because it seems like you get pretty far sometimes, and other times it doesn't seem like you're getting far. And I will not recharge my electricity. Okay. Someone decided how to get things down here. The back of the elevator seems to be the best option. There's something to plug it to at the bottom. Question is, I have 43 meters of fuel cable on me. And do I think that's reaching the bottom? Probably not. Alright. And also, I don't want to risk fall damage on this little bit of idiocy. So, let's go recharge ourselves. Make some more cabling. Nothing. Alright. I'm going to build we're not going to have any rubber. Are we? We have just enough. All right, we have just enough. All right, save before stupidity. Lose daylight, and it's a plus. Okay. Let's put cable extender. French. Close enough. Yep. Okay. Alrighty then. This is not my favorite option, but it hopefully won't get tangled with anything. And then I can just pull it here, drain whichever tank happens to be handy. Okay. So, we want to come over here and connect to you. You're not going to do any good at the moment because you're not connected to the other side. But we can solve that problem, albeit by draping random wires across the floor again. I guess if it extends that far without needing an extender, you could just put one here. No, they'd get pinched. They'd get pinched and they'd be something. Alright. So, let's make use of you. And over here. At least attempt to keep this at least somewhat clean. I suspect that is the last fabricators. Yeah, and there's no more here. Alright. So, I need iron, plastic, and you're empty. Okay, I do have material for fabricators. I could make some more cable. No, I cannot. What am I missing? Lever. Okay. I'll have to go downstairs and it's another then. Okay. My big win here is going to be to fill a single oil tank. Let's do 5. Pieces of things. Right. It's still daylight. Well, I said the water. Water. All right. Seriously. No game. Now you're going to tell me I need iron and plastic, aren't you? Okay. Nothing left to break down. So, one more trip on the elevator. Let's be mindful of that. All right, what do I got? I don't get it. I had plastic. I had iron and plastic. Yeah, I had enough. Do I not have enough table? Maybe I was just pointing at the floor wrong. It would be one of those days when I was just pointing at the floor. Meantime, I'm go ahead and take a little extra. Dump a little food. And go back upstairs. And we'll get this done. All right. Then enter. And no, okay. Yeah, that's the pointing it in the wrong direction or something. Now just pumping that. Not the prettiest solution, but it'll do. I've not thought about how I'm going to get it back up to the platform on Lazarus. One thing at a time. All right. Let's turn you back on just long enough to refill the tanks up top. Battery is full-ish. That is good. All right, that leaves Scooter Central as the last thing that I think we really want to take care of. Yeah. All right, so what have I got? A variety of guns. I do not have any grenades. I do not have the capacity to. Well, I might be a grenade, but I am so bad at this that I really don't think that is a useful. Okay, let's go see what Skitter Central looks like. There is at least one spitter in there. That's not the door. I can go down here. I think there are stairs inside. Otherwise, I don't know that there's any way of getting. Come on. Come on, fresh robot. Ah. There's light in here. There's more stuff hiding back there, but I don't know how you would get to it. Lights in here. There. Oh, you mofos. You want me to go up there, don't you? There's my door. What else is in here? All right, hello, friend. Who's around this corner? Sorry, robot friend. Yeah, it wants me to make that stupid. Develop the hood holding the ceiling. All right, that's for next time. That is not to be done in the middle of the night. And it explains why only a few at a time are coming down right now. That also means that it's going to be hellacious to climb up in there. This is where a grenade would come in here. All right. I'm going to call it here. Next time, we'll go into Skitter Central, and then by then, I suspect that the oil tank will be full, at which point it will be time to go back to Exodus. I guess I can do one more round of the underwater grave to the seed vault to the Exodus to make sure that that's kind of in a muscle memory. Then I want to think about starting over and see if I can do things with a little bit more intentionality. And that should take me through December. That should be more than enough to get through December. At which point there will be a new update. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. And I will say thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.